our reading focus is making connections. And so this is making connection, text to text, text to world, and text to self. And I'll explain all of those in a little bit. My kiddos might remember this from last year. I'm sure Miss Kellogg's kiddos do too. My third grade kiddos, that about this reading focus. And Miss Bender's, sorry. So my hand gesture for making connections is I like to put my hands together like you're clasping them together. So making connections. Why do we want to make a connection when we're reading a book? Like, what is the purpose of it? Well, it helps readers make pictures in their heads. So have you ever read a book, and as you're reading the book, you can see the images in your head from the story? So that's really great because that helps us become better readers because we're connecting to what the characters are going through. Readers understand the text better. So if we can make a connection, it gives us an even deeper understanding of what we're reading. And readers can better understand what the characters are going through. So if you can connect with them, maybe the same thing happened to you that the character's going through, that creates that better understanding of what the characters are going through, which is really cool. There's two different types of connections. You have a deep connection, so something that is really deep. That means it helps me understand the text. So for example, I felt the way Lucy did when Ralph bullied her. So you get that deep connection with the character in the story. And then there's kind of a shallow connection. So that means it doesn't involve much thinking. So it might be something simple like, my hair is curly like Lucy's hair. That's a shallow connection. So we want to try and make both connections when we're reading, really. But a deep connection is a better, way better one, because that really gets us to connect with the story more and to understand it more. So here is our first connection. And again, you guys might recognize this from last year. Connections, this is text to self. So this is when you read a book and you connect to what the characters are going through in the story. It reminds me of something in my life so I can better understand the character. I might even be able to predict what actions the character will take. So that goes into your background knowledge, right? Because you went through a similar situation like the character did, so you might be able to predict what they're going to do next. And then we have our next text to self connection. Our text connection is text to text. And this one's, it reminds me of another book I read a while back. I might be able to understand this story better because I have seen a similar problem before. So that's really great when you have read a book and then also like The Three Little Pigs, right? You might be able to have another book that reminds you of that story. So if anybody's read the real story of the Three Little Pigs, that would be a text-to-text connection because they're similar stories, but they're also different, right? Or maybe they're totally different books, but they have similar situations that happen to the characters in the book. And then our last one is text to world. So this, it reminds me of real events in the world, past or present. If I know how people reacted before, I might understand the ins and outs of the characters' thinking and actions. So when you can connect a story, something that's happening to a character or event in a book, and you can connect that to something that actually happened in our world, that's another really great connection that you can have while you're reading to help you better understand the book. So that is our reading focus for the week.